Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 15th of September 2022. In today's Millwall news, we're going to have more excuses from Gary Rowett, more post-match comments after yesterday's abysmal performance and result against Queen's Park Rangers. So let's get into it. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss Gary Rowett urges attacking players to produce game-winning moments. Gary Rowett has told Mill's attacking players they need to step it up after 6 blank of the season on Wednesday's 2-0 defeat to Queen's Park Rangers. The Lions have failed to score in 4 of their last 5 fixtures and have dropped to 19th in the Championship ahead of Blackpool arriving in SE16 tomorrow. Benikovic is the only striker to net this season. Rowett told the South London Press, "We've got a new look forward line that hasn't quite gelled yet. We've got players that can cause teams problems and we have to get the ball to them more often. I felt in too many games we have the opportunity to play it to the front three, we turn it down and go backwards. We need to be a little more proactive in defensive areas, playing forward and in midfield areas, but the forwards also have to create things for themselves. I see other teams scoring goals where they create something out of nothing. We just need to do a little bit more. Just as your job as a defender is to keep clean sheets and defend properly, your job as an attacker is to come up with moments to win games. We need to step. I don't like to say it because it sounds as though you're criticising, but I'm certainly not. We've got better players than we are currently showing in those areas. We need to get bodies around them. When you play with 3 forwards as opposed to sometimes 4 forwards, you have to get the wing backs high and the midfielder joining in. At the moment, we haven't quite done that with enough quality. We need to go and perform against Blackpool. It's as simple as that. We can't keep conceding silly goals and expect to win games." So he starts off talking about the attackers, how they haven't scored, and they haven't. And then he ends with just about conceding silly goals. So an all-round blame game there. And here we go again. Set pieces. Set pieces. This is also from London News Online. Mill boss frustrated at quality of set pieces in Derby defeat to QPR. Mill manager Gary Rowett has bemoaned his side's lack of quality from dead ball moments and last night's 2-0 defeat to QPR, and the Lions chief has also left scratching his head over the way that R's were allowed to take a quick corner. Stefan Johansson meeting minimal resistance as he stroked the West London outfit's second goal past Bartosz Białkowski. There were a couple of things that were frustrating last night, Rowett told the South London Press. At 0-0 we squandered about 6 set pieces, of which not one of them got into an area where we should at least try and attack it. That for us is a massive strength and we can't afford to play with that lack of accuracy in terms of delivery. And then to concede that second goal, you watch it back and start schoolboy defending from everybody. Not one person reacts and not one person organises. I know we work very hard on certain things. I know we give lots of good information and ultimately you need the players to carry that out onto the pitch. That was my disappointment. If you look at that one moment, then we could watch it 100 times and 100 times you'll be saying, what the earth are we doing here? It's a championship, not a non-league football where people are working all day and you can forgive them for being a little bit lacking in concentration. This is our job. It's moments like that are the reason we're not winning games of football, because we're not doing the right things often enough. That was hugely disappointing because it's not what we are about and it's not what I tried to build the team to be about. I'm sure the players will be disappointed when they see it back. Indeed, and I'm sure you're going to show it to them. So, looking ahead from Gary Rowett. This is also, again, from London News Online. Mill wants feel-good factor of win over Blackpool before international break. Well, you can want a lot of things, but you need to actually turn up and make it happen. It's not just going to happen. Gary Rowett wants Mill to sign off before the international break with a return to winning ways at the Den. The fortnight without fixtures will feel a long time if the Lions do not manage to take maximum points against Blackpool on Saturday. Mill struggled to create chances in a 2-0 defeat to QPR on Wednesday night. Their Den form, so impressive over the whole of the previous campaign, has taken a hit with reverses to the R's and Reading in recent weeks. Interesting. Maybe it's just a blue and white stripe thing. We've got a problem playing against teams in blue and white stripes. Although I'm sure Reading weren't playing in blue and stripe. Reading weren't in blue and white stripe kit, were they? They were playing like a pink kit or something, weren't they? Blackpool lost 3-0 at Rotherham last night, indeed. Rotherham told the Southern press, "Every game at home is a big game, and we want to win every game." There was disappointment in how we lost the game last night. The game was very even, and I didn't think there was much in the game. They certainly didn't have masses of great opportunities, and neither did we. It's always that first goal. If you concede the first goal and you've lost the game, then it looks a terrible performance. But actually, there were a lot of good things in there. We've got to take that on to Saturday and be a little bit more creative in the top end of the pitch. And what you certainly don't want to be doing is going to the international break where you've had an opportunity of 3 home games on the spin, of which you have won the first game and then lost the next 2. It's an important one where we bounce back with a win. I'm sure Blackpool would be determined to come back from their defeat to Rotherham. What we've got to do and do the business ourselves, like we have so many times at home. If we do, then I'm sure we'll feel a little bit better about ourselves, but still not completely satisfied. It's an important game and we need to go and perform. Simple as that. I've told the players we can't keep conceding silly goals and expect to win games of football. So Blackpool have lost 3-0 away at Rotherham on Wednesday night, and it's pretty safe to say they're below us in the table. That Blackpool are not very good. Do you think we can beat Blackpool 3-0? Seriously, I'm asking you now. Absolutely no way we're going to beat them 3-0. Absolutely no way we will score 3 goals against them. It's not going to happen. It simply isn't. Where are we going to pull a performance out where we're going to score 3 goals against Blackpool? If we're lucky, it's going to be 0-0 at half time, and then we're probably going to have to wait for the substitution to happen, and then we're going to nick a 1-0 win. Rotherham beat them 3-0. Why do we play like this? Why do we set up to play like this? Blackpool ain't very good. We shouldn't be playing against that like them. It's if we do, I tell you what, if he sets up the way he carries on setting up, and we don't attack them, and we don't win, if we lose because they counter attack us, or they get us at set pieces like QPR did with that corner, if we don't beat Blackpool, even if we draw, if we lose, that's going to be crazy. Even if we draw, the knives are going to be out. And then we go into the international break with all of the fans moaning about how shit we are. And they would be right. They would be right. So if you win, you get the feel-good factor. If you don't win, you get hell on earth. You get Millwall fans on your back. So just think about that. This one kind of came out of the blue. This is from the New Look News at Den, but the website is southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall manager optimistic that Lone Stars will stay for the season. Now, when they were announced, they were season-long loans. So, hang on, what? So now we've been told that they might be going back. There's a recall clause, in January? Well, apparently so. So Gary Rowett hopes Millwall's Leeds United duo are keepers for the season, though he acknowledges all loan deals contain a degree of uncertainty. The pair joined on season-long loans, but Millwall haven't discussed any other details, so it remains to be seen as to whether they could be recalled in January. They both made big impacts. Charlie Cresswell is currently the Lions' top scorer, which is fucking ridiculous, while James Shackleton has been a key player in midfield and at wing-back, with the club retaining an option to make the latter's move a permanent one in the summer. Cresswell has arguably been Mill's standout player so far this season, however, and Rowett is optimistic that the centre-back will stay for the entire campaign, despite pleas from these supporters to bring him back to Ellen Road as soon as possible. Charlie Cresswell's been alright, but at times he has made some errors. I think for QPR's first goal yesterday, Well, he didn't clear the ball. And the reason why, because I imagine in the Premier League they teach them now. They teach them this slide and hook. So when you do a slide tackle, you slide in and you hook your foot to try and win the ball back. So you stand up with the ball and boom, you're away. You can run off or pass it sideways. So he did the slide and hook on the QPR player. And he stands up and he doesn't have the ball. The QPR player still has the ball. Whereas old school centre half, slide and sweep. You slide in and you sweep your leg to get the ball away. You get it out. Out for a throw in, out for a corner, out. It's out. Get it out. Where's the ball? It's around our area. It's in our area. Get it out. Get it out. No, but he does a little slide and hook. Slide in, hook, stand up with the ball. Oops. I don't have the ball. The QPR player has the ball. Oops. They've scored. Fantastic. Now he's only 19. He's learning still, but I mean, and he had the back pass at where was it? I forgot. He had the back pass that was outrageous. So he has made errors. So whenever you take a young player from a Premier League side, you understand that whilst they're your player for the season or for however long that may be, you're also trying to develop them to go back and challenge for a place at their parent club. We told us again. Our aim is to do as good a job as we can. If we do that, then Cressy will be a fantastic player for us this season. But the players, they immerse themselves in the team. They feel like they're part of the team, and it's important for them to be just another player of the team. It's trying to find that balance, really, especially with a younger player. You're trying to help them develop, you're trying to work with them, but they're also trying to play games and show what they can do. At the moment, he's done really well for us, and I hope that he can continue that development. That's only going to benefit us, and it's only going to benefit Leeds in the long term. Of course, that's far from a guarantee that Cresswell will remain at the club for the entire season. Should Leeds face an injury crisis in defence, they may opt to terminate the deal in order to bring him back. In fact, Millwall did the same when Tyler Berry was on loan at Hartlepool United, and Rowett admits that there's always a risk when bringing young players to the club on a temporary basis. It depends how the deal's structured, and without me going into too much detail on individual deals, some deals will have a recall clause for both clubs in January, some deals won't have that. And a lot of loan deals will do it where we leave ourselves that option of bringing him back in. We need them, or if we do so well that another club wants to come and take them on a higher level. When you take a loan deal, you accept that there are certain breaks in there, but in Chris's case, I don't know. In Jack's case, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, they're our players until we're told otherwise, and we want them to continue what they've done, which is performing and help the team to win games of football. I don't believe that he doesn't know that there's recall clauses. Like he said, it's standard. He said it's standard. Mill will do it. So he says it's recall for both clubs. So the team that's loaning out the player can recall them, and the team that's loaned in the player can send him back and say, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, not good enough. Bye bye. So we could lose our loan players in January, and if we're in a relegation battle at the end and the bottom of the championship, can we replace them? Then where does it leave us? Thin squad, even thinner, with George Evans playing centre back. Anyway, interesting. That just came out of nowhere. I don't know why that's even a story, but yeah, apparently the lone players could leave. Now, Murray Wallace has had something to say about the game. So this is also from southwarknews.co.uk. Murray Wallace dissects Millwall's defensive mistakes. The centre-back has been frustrated by the Lions' performances so far this season. Murray Wallace understands why many Millwall fans have been frustrated by their start to the Championship campaign. The Lions won 1, drew 1, and lost 5 of their 7 matches in all competitions in August, leaving them near the bottom of the table despite the opening day victory against Stoke City. Their 2-0 win against Cardiff City eased some of the pressure, but Gary Rowett side are winless on the road since the start of March, a run which continued after their trip to Sunderland was postponed. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? Wallace told News at 10. We've had one of the best home forms in the division last season, and we've got relatively good home form so far this season. It's just the away form. It's difficult playing on the road, and with some of the away games we've had, like being away to Swansea and away to Norwich in the space of a few days, even away to Burnley, we've had quite a few long trips. Obviously, we're a bit disappointed, especially when doing these away trips. It's disappointing that we haven't really shown the best of ourselves. We haven't performed great, and obviously haven't picked up results. That's disappointing because looking at last season, the away form is the one thing that we really need to improve. Yeah, but that's a surprise. Do you not have a map? Do you not have A to Z? Is that really a surprise that we would have a long way to travel? We've had a long way to travel for the past 3 seasons. Do something about it. What's the problem? You don't like traveling? Then stay overnight. Like, what is the problem? I don't understand. Wallace admits to an extent that he has to look at himself. After all, he was part of one of the strongest defences in the entire division last season. So far in 22-23, they've conceded 13 league goals, with only Hull, Middlesbrough, Reading and Bristol City letting in more. So we have the 5th worst defence in the league. It's not helped by the concerning run in August, where in 5 out of 6 consecutive games, Millwall conceded 2 goals in each match. It was worrying when we were going through a little patch of conceding a couple of goals early, which then gives us a mountain to climb, the defender explains. It's hard when you put yourself in that position and you're chasing the game, then it opens you up a little bit more when you're having to take extra risks to try and get back into the game. It's one of those things, we all understand that with the individual mistakes. We might not get it right as a team, we just need to stick by it and believe in what we're doing. If those results were spread out over the course of the season, we'd look back and think it's not really much of an issue. It's the fact that it was a run of a few games in a row which made it frustrating for us. We know what we've done wrong, both individually and as a team. Sometimes that's the best way to get it out of the way early so you can move on to a better position. And you can read more from Murray Wallace in this week's Southwark News, which published on Thursdays today, so where he discusses Millwall's transfer business, Charlie Cresswell's goal scoring form, and his aspirations of playing in the Premier League. Murray Wallace has been alright so far this season. At times, again, like everyone else, making a few mistakes. Is that the player of the season curse? Don't know. Is that the new baby giving him sleepless nights? Is he struggling with his concentration because he's a bit sleep deprived? I don't know, but does need to get a bit better. And what he's saying there is basically saying the reason why we're losing 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 is because we try and keep it tight, which is what the way Gary Rowett plays, sets them up. So he's saying when we concede that first goal, it's like, oh shit, now then we got to attack more. When we attack more, opens us up to concede the second goal. So I think that's what he's saying there. So anyway, as you know, the day after the game, we do stats, and we're going to move on to that now. And it makes for interesting reading. So here we go. This is the XG over the length of the match against Queen's Park Rangers yesterday. And you will notice a massive flat line in the first half. Millwall had very little action on QPR's goal after the 10th minute. It looks like 10 minutes. 10 minutes to 45 minutes. Absolutely nothing. We come out from the kickoff, second half, do a bit, and then another long flat line. And this first substitution for Millwall made on 62. So you can see after the subs were made, then we kick on. But also, you can see, after we concede, then we decide to attack. It's not good enough. What are you waiting for? What the fuck are you waiting for? Stop defending and trying to defend for half of a game and then fucking play in the last 30 minutes. You do this all the time and it's fucking shit. It's not working. And yet again, this happens quite often. You can see QPR's first shot of the game. Very good chance. I think they probably should have scored from that. Didn't. I think that was the one that Bart saved with his feet, and the geezer had it back to him and just headed it wide. Crazy chance that. But you can see start of the second half, first shot they have, goal. This happened time and time again last season. So it's a trend. It's something that happens. Either the first shot of the game that the opposition have, or the first shot of the second half, they more than likely score a goal. The XG over the length of the match was 1.3 to QPR, 1.0 to Millwall. Not that much in it. Not that much in it, really. But you can see plugging away, QPR getting that line up. And if you go to the side where it says 0.5, 0.0, 0.5, 1.0, so by the time they get to time they score, they're just under enough chances to have one goal, and they get the goal. And then they get a second goal when they're only on 1.25. And then they decide to do a bit of defending. After they get the second goal, so that's why it's easier for us to attack as well. Because once we've conceded two, they can just defend. They defend from the time they scored, 73rd minute or whatever. They have one more chance from the 72nd minute to the end of the game, and we're just attacking. And even though they're defending and we're attacking, we still can't score. We've got better chances, we've got the staircase, but we're not scoring. But take note, they start to defend because they're 2-0 up. Look, then that gives us a chance to attack. But look in the first half, we defend. That gives them the chance to attack. And even though they didn't score in that first half, we have 3 shots on goal first half, and don't have any XG from 10 minutes to 45 minutes. 35 minutes of football of shit. And Jake Cooper is our player who has the best chances in the game. 0.2 of a goal's worth he's had. And just to bring something into focus about the future, coming up Saturday, let's have a look at Blackpool. This is how shit Blackpool are, right? So if we do not win against Blackpool, this is how shit they are. Their orange line, black line. They had very few chances, and they were very poor quality chances because the line doesn't go up. And Rotherham ain't even that good either. They had XG of 2.1, but they only scored 3 goals. This is who Blackpool are. When we play them, and if the line isn't as good as that, if we don't keep them to that line, we let them attack us because we defend, they're more likely to score. If they're more likely to score, they're more likely to win. The way we set up, it's not the quality of the teams, it's not the quality of the players, it's the way we set up. So we'll see on Saturday at 5:45. We're here at 5:50. What does the XG look like? What does the result look like? What does the performance look like? We can't be losing to Blackpool. We cannot be drawing against Blackpool. And this is what they do when they go away from home. Against a team that isn't very good, Rotherham. And that's no disrespect to them. We have better players than Rotherham and Blackpool. They're just not being set up properly. And Honeyman on the bench yet again. Anyway, let's move on. So this is infogoal.net. This website actually gives us the lead in the XG. They gave us 1.21 to 0.92. So you can see here the goal on 54, the 2 subs 62. After we've already conceded the goal. So once we've conceded, let's try and win the game. And then they score on 71, and then they make some changes of their own. We make more changes, and they make 3 more changes between the end of the game. If we look at the XG shot map, which is a feature of this website which I like. So here's Millwall's attempts on goal over the whole match. The one, Honeyman on 82, that was a 1. Everything else is just half chance powder puff. There's one long range one as well. That's Zion Fleming off in the 3rd minute. Here's QPR's. They had one good chance. That was the one. Where Bart saved it with his feet and then the geezer headed it wide. So that was the one that should have went in, but it didn't. But their half chances, they made goals out of them. They were given. No one was standing between the goal and the ball, the player with the ball. They were able to have shots on target, even though you can see in the highlights there's plenty of Millwall players around. So how is the line of sight between the player and the goal not being blocked? And the shit fucking corner as well. Fairness rating, was this a fair result? 50.17. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. They're not that good, QPR. We made them look good. This should have been a draw. Probably a 1-0, a 1-1, probably a 0-0. But once again, let's have a look. First half. Didn't even have a shot in the fucking area. 3 shots. 3 shots in the first half from Millwall. Because we don't start playing football until we're already losing. Which is not fucking good enough. Here's QPR shots in the first half. You see that? The second half. Oh, now we try and play. Now we get into the box. All of our shots are central, by the way, this season. This is a thing that's happening. They're all central. Most of them are inside the box. We have these little chances here. There's one that was probably a free kick. The one out there. Tyler Berry is the only one I'll take a shot from outside the area. But that's us in the second half when we actually try and do some attacking. And this is QPR. You notice the difference. Here's the thing: when you're attacking, the other team needs to defend. If you sit back, let's try and keep it tight for 45 minutes and nick a goal in the second half. Teams can just attack that. If you let them come at you, they'll come at you. Reading did it, QPR did it. And I imagine Blackpool now, if they've got any ounce of intelligence, will do the same thing. And we'll probably lose that game. No cap, we're going to lose that game. So, here we go. Let's dissect the individuals. You can see on the stats on the left, the top performers, all 5 of the best players were QPR players. In terms of shots, a lot of Millwall players in there. A lot of Millwall players in that top 5 of shot takers. Tackles, we had to do a lot of tackling. And we also had a lot of dribbles. So, in terms of strengths and weaknesses, Millwall were effective creating goal scoring opportunities from long shot situations, but were poor at finishing. We dominated possession, yeah. We favoured crossing the ball. QPR had a high shot frequency and winning possession. Were effective creating goal scoring opportunities from long shot situations and from set pieces. Indeed. So here's the attempts, and we had 12. We're on the left hand side in red for some reason, and they're on the side with blue. It was 12 to 13, 9 to 10 open play, 3 to 3 set pieces. So pretty teams that had equal outcomes in terms of the production of shots. We had 12, didn't score. They had 13, scored 2. 15% conversion rate. They were mostly going down the right hand side. We were pretty balanced, going down both wings. Shot directions. Shot zones. Action zones. Player positions. Yes, look. Look at that. Packed midfield. Pack the midfield. Because Millwall only play 2 in the middle. But this time, having to play 3. And their wing back on the, or full back on the right, pushed further forward. Interesting stuff. And you can see their goalkeeper mostly playing further out. So let's move on to what happened in the game. There's the match events one more time. Ilias Chair with 2 assists. It's long been known that Ilias Chair is probably their best player when he's on the ball. Would probably have been a good idea to put George Honeyman on to man marking. Do we still do man marking? Is that a thing that goes on, or has that gone out of fashion as well? Don't let him play like that. So if we scroll down, if you look at the club badges, top left, top right, Mill's average player rating totaled up 6.39, and for QPR 6.98. At this level, that is quite a difference. Nearly 7 for them, and under 6.5 for Millwall. 6.4, so 0.6 of a difference. That is quite a large difference. So, Starman was Laird for them, even though Chair got 2 assists, and Willock got a goal, Johansson got a goal. Not much in it. Pretty much every player there got 7 or above, except for Roberts and Field for QPR. For Millwall, though, I mean, it looks like this website is blaming Biakowski for the goals. I'm not sure about that. I imagine if we carry on conceding goals, though, would you start pointing the finger at Biakowski? I don't know. I don't think there's much he can do. Maybe he's unsighted because there's a lot of players in front of him and none of them are blocking the ball. So if you're going to stand there and not fucking do anything, get out of the way so the goalkeeper can see the fucking ball. Style 6.9 was top man for Millwall, and funnily enough, he gets taken off. Fantastic. Let's take off our best performing player. Brilliant stuff there. Fantastic. And also Fleming as well, 6.7. 3 centre backs, both all given 6.8. So struggling to see, was it the midfield? Struggling to see where the like I said, this website seems to be pointing the finger at Biakowski, so let's dissect that and see if that's the case. So the total shots 12 to Millwall, 13 for QPR. So 3 for Fleming and 2 for Cooper. Bradshaw, Mitchell and Stiles. And for QPR, all of their front line having multiple shots and Johansson having 2. Possession, yeah, we have possession, more of it, which is unusual for us. So we had more possession, didn't do fuck all with it. 57 to 42. Cresswell on ball most of the time, 9.7 of the match minutes were in Charlie Cresswell's feet. And even though Stiles got the highest rating for Millwall player, he's only on the ball for 4.5% of the time. Pass success percentage, pretty even, 79 to 78. But you can see for QPR, it's their front players, Chair, Willock, Johansson, have the highest accuracy. For us, it's Sabel, Cooper, Shackleton, even Biakowski. So what was that? Short passes. Must be. I don't know what's happening now. But the front 3, nah. Boglsammer, Bradshaw, Fleming. Nope. Passing accuracy in the gutter. Whereas with QPR, it's pretty much decent all round, except for the goalkeeper. So it's a weird one. Dribbles 7 to 8, Styles for 3, and for QPR, Willock. Aerials 1. We won way more aerials than them, 33 to 22. Cooper, Wallace, Creswell. Everyone won an aerial except for Shackleton, Styles, and Biakowski. So again, the stats look good, but we were shit. Tackles more than double, 18 to 9. Everyone had a tackle. Everyone won a tackle, except for Vogelsammer and Biakowski. But you can all spin that around. Why did we have more tackles than them? Because we had to. Because we were defending. We were sitting back. So if you sit back, you've got to tackle because they're going to come at you. They didn't have to do that because they didn't have to tackle. Because they didn't have to. So you can look at it like that. Same with aerials. Corners 5 to 4. Dispossessed 5 to 11. So we actually got the ball off them quite a fair few times. Dispossessed means having the ball taken off of you, but not a tackle. I don't know how they differentiate, but not a tackle. So let's finish up by looking at more of the stats in table form. So the ratings 6.91 Callum Styles. So again, not one player over 7. 2 players under 6. Afobe 5.94. Biakowski 5.96. So why was Biakowski so low? What did he do wrong? So let's have a look at shots and shots on target. First for QPR shots. What was it? 13, wasn't it? 4 on target. So they have 4 shots on target. 2 of them go in. So that's 50%. So again, are we looking at Biakowski's getting on a bit, isn't he? He's getting on a bit. He's taking it on this vegan diet to extend his career, but how old is he now? 35. Could this be the season where he goes a bit patchy? Sometimes brilliant, sometimes not. I don't know. Can we blame him for yesterday's result? I don't think it's that clear cut. I think it's just an all-round shit team performance. But when you look at the stats seem alright. We won the aerials, we won the tackling. Passing was alright in the middle and at the back. It's just passing accuracy up front, not very good. In terms of subs coming on, so all of the substitutes, when they came on, they did not get a higher score than the players that they replaced. If you can look, they're in green. They got the green arrow. The closest one will be Tyler Berry Vogelsammer, literally 0.001. So he was close. And why is that a thing? If you haven't seen these videos before, Vogelsammer was on the pitch for 61 minutes. Tyler Berry was on the pitch for 30 minutes. So it's a thing that comes from baseball, like wins above replacement. But we take into football. Replacement. What does the person who came on to replace the one that was already on the pitch do? So he's done a lot more than him. He's got 2 shots. One of them was on target. He's had 13 touches of the ball, but didn't quite get enough to do enough to get above him in a rating. So the touches of the ball. Charlie Cresswell 103. Murray Wallace and Cooper. So it was a day of passing the ball around the back for Millwall. Let's pass it around. Billy Mitchell as well. So let's pass it around the back. We'll pass it forward to Billy Mitchell, and then he'll pass it back to the defenders, and we'll keep doing that because there's nothing up front for us to do. It drops off massively. Look at this. So we get to Callum Styles, 62 touches of the ball. Don't forget, Saville and Styles went off, so they didn't play. They only played 76. And then you drop off to Simon Fleming. He was on the pitch for 90 minutes. He had 39 touches of the ball. 39 touches of the ball. What can he do if he only has 39 touches of the ball? Where he had 3 shots and one of them was on target. And he won 4 aerials and he had a passing accuracy of 65. Again, up front, they're not touching the ball. Fleming 39, Bradshaw 26, Fogelsum 19. They're not even touching the ball. So let's have a look at Millwall's shots and shots on target. It was 12, wasn't it? So 12. And 4 shots on target. So the same as QPR. Basically the same. They had 13 shots, 4 on target. We had 12, 4 on target. Slightly better. Because we had the same amount of shots on target from one less. But we don't score. We don't score. They score 2. We don't score. It's decided to do that thing where it doesn't load properly, which is fantastic. So this is all we've got to go on for this video, which is great. We can cut it short. So yeah, just not good enough, is it? Just not good enough. And if you're looking for excuses, I don't want excuses. Gary Rowett saying this, that, and the other. I don't really care. I just want it to get better. I want it to stop being shit, and I want it to be good. I don't really care why or how or who. Just get it done. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.